My name is Sharyn Ward, and I'm an Irish traveller, and I'm a mommy, and I'm a musician and a singer, and it's really nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. I've heard so much about you. About you. I'm Zeinab. I'm originally from Ballymun, so that's why it's so cool to be here. I'm an R&B singer-songwriter, and yeah.
And you're gorgeous.
Oh, well, so are you. It's so lovely to meet you because I know you're on Hot Press, one of the cover girls of Hot Press.
And you?
So, sure, I was like, a few more flicks to the page.
No, we're both as important. I think I'm just more Gabby and to put me on the front page just because I'm loud. So creativity is important to me because I suppose it's my freedom, my space of freedom, and it's somewhere, music I find is somewhere where I'm not judged. As an Irish traveller, I feel like it's my therapy. No matter what the world hits me with, I can just go away and sing all my worries away. And I feel through my concerts, when I go there, if I'm struggling with things, I feel the audience and me kind of feel very relaxed and very settled afterwards. So music is kind of therapy for me. And I suppose I suffer really bad with anxiety, so it's my calm. Some people do medication, some people do meditation, and I do music for mine.
That's great.
So
I have to say, I'd be similar as well. So I'm, if I'm kind of in my feelings, I'm feeling down or whatever, I'll take pen to paper. But sometimes it's a struggle to actually do that. I'd rather wallow on the couch.
I know. And it's not so easy to just get up and write a song as well.
No, and then sometimes you have people being like, oh, I just like write a song so easily. And it's like, but you actually have to go through, you have to sit in a lot of like blah kind of feelings to actually get things out. But then when you do, you feel like a weight has been completely lifted, and then even going back to sing those songs, you feel like that. It's a real like cathartic, therapeutic experience. And even just like sometimes if you're feeling happy, you want to sing a happy song. If you're feeling down in the dumps, you want to sing a really
from your stomach, from your heart, you want to sing if you're feeling. I find that if I'm really emotional, my father passed away this year, and I just went out to the cabin and turned on my little camera, and I sang from my heart, and I was nearly at breaking point, like with tears, but afterwards I felt really,
you feel so much
relaxed
lighter.
And like I was after getting it out there. And I put the little video up on my Facebook page, and every single person who watched it felt that from me, even through the music,
because that's true raw emotion. I'll have to go and check. I'll have to get you to send me that link. I'll have to get you to send me that link. But yeah, like I think even what you said earlier, like I would suffer badly from anxiety, and I do feel that sometimes it stops me from actually being creative because I don't want to, basically I just want it to be perfect. And people always say like, enjoy the journey, not the destination. But sometimes when I'm writing a song, I'm like, I want this to be really good. Is it really good yet?
And you're afraid to show it to the world as well, because you're afraid what people will think that is your song that's good to you, good to somebody else. But the thing about creativity is everybody's different, and everybody should respect anyway everybody's music.
And I feel like everybody's going to have an opinion on what it is that you do anyway. So as long as you do something and write something for yourself,
exactly,
then no matter, like somebody called one of my songs very like bubblegum. I was like, it's very bubblegum. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't what I was going for, but thank you. But yeah, like people will always have different opinions. So as long as you're happy with what you've put out there, then
well, I've been told that one of the songs I wrote, when my husband and the gang where we've a yard with horses. And it's really calming and relaxing there, and when it gets really warm, the boys will all gather on their four-wheelers, and they bring all the children off on the horse and carts. And one day they were going out the gate, and I thought about it, and I was like, God, I can imagine that drive out the road and the tapping of their feet and the air in your face and the smell of the beach coming, and you're going out to sit down and relax. And I wrote a song about it, and apparently the song's really good, but it should be for a man to sing, I was told. Give it to a man, it's a man's song. And I said, well, now I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, now I'm making
I'm going to make sure that's my song and it's a woman's song after this.
You're like,
so you have opinions, and they were like, yeah, it's very good, but it's kind of better off to be a man's song. So not everybody's going to like your music, you know?
Yeah. And like that, you're going, no, this is actually for me, so I'm going to perform it. And like that actually...
No, I'm that person, don't press the red button. I'm looking around to see where everybody is. I'm going to press that button.
I know, because I found that like when I kind of started writing seriously, like I've always been writing stuff, but when I started kind of going, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I had people say to me, don't riff too much, don't go too high, don't do this and that, because other people won't be able, like other non-singers or whoever mightn't be able to sing along to it, so then it's no good. No. And it's only actually, I think somebody said to me recently, like, you don't riff in your own music, and I was like, I swore I do. But in the last couple of years I've only realised that that's what stopped me from doing that in my own songs. And I don't even remember when that was said to me. I remember who said it to me, but I can't remember when. And now it's taken this long for me to go, oh wait, that I've been kind of put myself in this little kind of, you know, box. And I suppose you have to have awareness, which as creatives we're always kind of trying to check in on what we're doing or what we're feeling. So it's making sure that you don't let what people tell you to kind of get in there without, like, I didn't even realise that was in there until recently. I was like,
And I found actually when I went on Ireland's Got Talent, when they had asked me to audition for it and everything, I had a flat Irish accent, and I actually sang One Starry Night to Lucy that time in the camp or whatever. And when I went on the show, they had suggested that I sang the song, I can't even remember it now, but anyway, the first song, which was Stand By Me.
Oh yeah.
And then I tried to sing it, but I was cutting out my own accent, so I wasn't truly being myself. And I was holding back, and then when they were like, just sing your own song, you can see where I literally just relaxed, and when I was myself, then that's when everybody really loved me. When I was kind of holding that back, thinking, will people fully like me for being an Irish traveller woman up here singing with a big culty accent and big 100 years of age song, you know? But actually they loved it in the end. So since that, I felt very free, and I don't really give a sugar like what people think about my accent or what way I sing or what songs I sing.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And I never really fitted in with my age group.
Oh really?
Because I sang songs that were out like 50 years before, and when now I love R&B and I love all sorts of music. It's all I listen to actually. But I love to sing ballads and Irish music and music like songs with no music.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, and I suppose then, like, you'd be kind of similar to me when I was younger. Well, not like, I wouldn't be singing kind of trad songs, but I know that loads of people would be like listening to, like, No Offence to Westlife or any of those, but would be loving all those songs would be on the radio. And I'd be like, because people weren't really... Well,
what kind of music are you? Who's your, like, some of your artists that you like?
So adore, like, Beyoncé, less of the, like, rappy kind of stuff, not so much me. Like, her older things... like always been such an inspiration, as well as being like, you know, a successful black like artist. She's always been so inspirational for me, even when I was like small, because I was like, oh my god, she reminds me of me. And then like those kind of artists, like, you know, like Sinead Harnett, who's current at the moment, Lizzo, like loads of those kind of artists. Whereas when I was younger, people weren't really listening to R&B, and then if I wasn't able to sing along to whatever pop song was on the radio, I felt left out. Yeah. Whereas now I'm kind of like, and obviously in the industry that we are in now, people can be like, oh, do you not know so and so? And you're like, oh no, I don't think I have. And people will be like, and it's like, but we can't stay on track with everything. There's too many trends. There's so many different artists. So I kind of try to go, well, yeah, like, who is it? Like, tell me about them.
I know,
rather than
exactly.
Making me
learn
feel bad.
me, yeah.
Yeah, rather than like just kind of going, oh.
Yeah, I had lunch with a very important person one time that I didn't realise was very important.
Yeah.
And it was great. Like, she came into my home and we had coffee and we had a great time. And then afterwards, I was telling somebody about it, and I was like, mentioned a woman's name. She's like, what? You know, she's really famous. Like, all, and I was like, where's she? Oh God, I didn't even know. And I was kind of more happy then that I didn't, because she got to see me for
being comfortable and not kind of going. Ugh.
And now we ended up being great friends because she was like, I couldn't believe how relaxed you were. I was like, come in. COVID was kind of crazy at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sick of it. Come in and have a cup of tea with me. I'm fed up here. Do you know?
Oh, well, then that ends up being so. Yeah, then you're just like fully like naturally yourself, rather than some people kind of go, oh my God, here's.
Yeah, but I felt kind of embarrassed, I suppose, afterwards that I didn't. I was meant to know who this woman was.
Yeah, but at least
you don't know everyone.
Yeah, but at least she obviously wasn't like, don't you know?
No, I think she wasn't.
Yeah.
And I think she kind of liked me because I didn't know that, and I was like, I wasn't being a lick arse. It's because I would have known who she was. I suppose. I feed everyone, anyone to come into me. Like, here's cake. Have dinner.
I want to go to your house.
Come over. We'll just binge out, the two of us. We'll make some music and we'll eat some food.
Sounds like a plan. But this is the thing. I feel, when you go, first of all, as an outsider looking in, okay, I see your Instagram page. I see how you're just putting up your videos. I see that you're on the cover of Hot Press. I see that you've gotten a huge chunk in Hot Press. And I know that you're probably like, okay, wanting to get to a certain level. But as an outsider looking in, I think that you're like well on your way.
You're
like, I feel like you're so far maybe than what you realize, because you're getting yourself out there. So you're on like Ireland's Got Talent, like you're doing loads. So you just, obviously, I know when you're kind of like, but I want to be here.
It's not even that. I just feel like I'm not really recognised as much as I suppose I probably am, way more. But that's a thing, I suppose, with, I don't know. I just feel like as a traveller woman, that's just a thing for me. So I suppose if there's any travellers kind of watching this today, I'd like them to feel, I feel as a traveller artist now, that things are opening more and there's going to be like more singers and things, because people are, and they're realising that we struggled a lot in Ireland, like with discrimination and stuff. And actually the music and the poetry and the artist side of life has healed us as a community and has kept us alive and kept us going.
Yeah.
And like there's only been a handful of famous traveller artists in the singing, which were amazing, still are. Like Pecker Dunn and Finbar Fury, and not like loads to mention, but now I kind of want it to be even more, if you know what I mean, for the future. I don't want it to be like just the odd traveller. I hope that I can open doors and that there be loads.
Yeah.
Like Hot Press magazine was a huge thing, I think, for an Irish traveller woman. So I hope every like traveller, young one or woman even, because as I'm saying earlier on, I can't say like, oh well, how you start out. I didn't come into this until I was 33 with 3 children, married, like
But
years.
that's amazing as well, because you know the way, like, I know years ago people were like, if you haven't made it by like 17,
yeah, exactly,
like good luck. Like I was told, I went to London to meet a manager, what I was like 27, and I basically was told that I was too old, and it was like, maybe you should just get into writing rather than you as an artist. I was like, sorry, excuse me. And I knew that, obviously, I was like, that's absolutely rubbish, because you hear all these different stories of people making it when they're 50, when they're whatever age, and just to be told that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but there is that thing, is there, that they make you feel like you can't make it past.
But that's not even how it is these days. Like, and you know what, like even seeing, like, obviously, you know, me looking at Hot Press, you skim over yourself. I skimmed over myself. I was like, yay, oh my God, amazing. But then you read other people's stories, and like I'd say lots of like women and like, you know, female travellers reading your story would be so like, it kind of, I do feel like we had those kind of like issues to read about when we were younger, because it's only kind of starting to like, we're starting to see more people like ourselves on TV, on all these different things. But I know, like, for me starting out, I was like terrified to put things out, because I talk a lot, Sharyn. Talk a lot. And like, I'm not used to people kind of scrutinising my words. So, you know, when you're writing lyrics and stuff, you're like, da da da, in the moment. And then that feeling of, oh, people are going to be going, like, close friends. I was like, I'm not at the level where people would be like, you know, being all cryptic about it, but like I knew friends would go, oh, is this about this guy, or is this or whatever? So it was really stressful.
It makes you afraid to then kind of show your music.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I kind of went, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. Obviously it took a very long time for me to get, so like even now I'm like, I recorded a song recently and it's going to be coming out in a few months, and I went, oh, like, how's this gonna go? So you always get that, no matter how many times you've written stuff where, you know, like I've written a few songs about my current boyfriend, and like I was like, this one's not so nice about you, don't know how you're gonna feel about it. And he's like, I understand this is what you do, and you know, and I was like, it's just in that moment but you know, when you're kind of going, this is what I do, like I'd rather stress about this than stress about a different job. And like the amount of times where I go crying to my mom being like, it's not working, or like, oh man, I'm not where I want to be, and constantly bawling my eyes out, like that's just
well, you're amazing and well, you're fab.
You. Well, thanks. Like you have to kind of take it with like peaks and troughs. Like at the moment I'm like having such a great time, like Hot Press came out, loads of different things happening, and then I know that there will be a dip, but you just kind of know that you just kind of have to go, it's going to come back
it
again.
is.
It's not high
I know,
all the
yeah
time. So yeah, that would be kind of like my advice to people, is just to put it out there,
and enjoy the highs and relax in the lows.
Relax in the lows.
I've learned to relax, and I used to be kind of, at the start I was a bit all over the place with routines, but now I've learned to, when I'm working as an artist, work your backside off, and then when you've that quiet time, take it with your family all the time, like, you know.
Yeah, like, because I've because I go to therapy regularly, because it's so nice to be able to go to somebody who's not involved in your family side, and to just go, this is how I feel, no judgment, and then skip away. And he has always said, because I've always had that feeling of, I need to be busy all the time, and then when I'm not busy I feel really, really guilty. I'm always like, I should be doing X, I should be writing a song, I should be making a hit, all this kind of stuff. And he was like, there's no productivity without rest, and you kind of have to go, okay, like, well done, pat myself on the shoulder, I wrote a line, like I wrote a line, and then you can just go, okay, without putting that pressure, because I put myself under so much pressure that I wouldn't be able to actually do anything. I wouldn't be able to do anything, and I'd be like, that pressure could stay with me for a good few months, and nothing would come of it, because I'd fully just get myself so stuck and overwhelmed, and it was all in my head. And it's so hard when you're in that, and once you kind of go, I just need to allow myself to have a downtime, and then once again, like, applaud yourself if you write a few words.
Well, after lockdown I felt like I should have had an album written, because I had all that time and everything, and I hadn't. I think I had about 3 songs written.
Here, that's
and
loads.
I still, no, but this was like over 2 years.
Hello,
with a child hanging on the hip, and another one screaming and blah blah blah. So I felt real disappointed afterwards. And then obviously through Axis, Niamh and all the gang here have me in, and I'm starting to kind of feel a little bit hopeful now again, like I'm managing things. I feel like Supermom going off to do me singing and home to cook me grub.
Sure, being able to write 3 songs with
but they're not great now. And
but here I
need to go back and edit them like a million times.
Here, like, that's why, like, I was kind of like, what have I written? And then I looked back on one song and I was like, oh, that's actually finished. You know, when you kind of, when you don't go back to edit for a while, you're like, oh, but like that. I was doing an interview ages ago, and someone was like, oh, X, Y, and Z, I can't remember the name of the artist, had written like 2 albums during COVID. I was like, I'm so happy for you. And
that's me. Oh yeah, well done. That's good of you.
Yeah, well done. And what it really is that, like, when you go, well, I have done this, and it mightn't be, you know, obviously I was kicking myself. I was like, I wish I'd written 2 albums, but I think I've written like a few songs.
Yeah.
Who knows if they're finished as well? Who cares? But we've managed to do things to keep ourselves somewhat sane during this. And yeah, some people be like, so one girl was like, what are you going to achieve every month during COVID? I was like, sorry, what?
I said I was going to have like a perfect exercise routine and everything, and all I did was sit around saying, when is this going to be over? Just when my singing career started, this fucking came along.
Yeah, wait, so when did that, so wait, when you started
so
doing your
kind of Ireland's Got Talent, like about a year after, like I think that came out in in February or March, I think.
It was all filmed at a certain time and then it actually comes out.
And then like a year I got pregnant then. Like while I was actually on the show I was pregnant.
Oh my God, and you were able to sing as well?
Well, I felt very sick and I was running in and out every 5 minutes, but I scraped it together.
Yeah.
And then so exactly about a year after it was on telly, the lockdown happened. So it was just kind of getting up and...
So but also everybody's trapped at home, social media.
Yeah, it did. Social media was good. And also, to be honest, I suffered terrible. I suppose now I'm open enough to talk about it, but I probably would have been very depressed during lockdown in my own way. Not depressed like as in suicidal and sitting like on the couch moping. I mean, I kept myself so busy.
Yeah.
And then for them 2 or 3 minutes that I had to spare, like, it was so overwhelming thinking the world is falling around us, like, is this the end of the world, and so on, so on, so. And I go outside and I do my live videos on Facebook, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not so alone, because all these people that are here are alone at home, locked away from their families and so on, so, and we're actually connecting. So it was great therapy for me the whole way through lockdown.
And that's amazing.
Even now.
But amazing that you were able to, because there's no, like, I think I would have, like, you know, kept my anxiety.
I was terrified.
Yeah,
I used to be shitting myself going online. I'd be shaking, saying,
I can't believe that you did
really
that.
Nervous.
But that's amazing that you're able to go, I'm going to go online, and like that was a coping mechanism for you, and then you're connecting with.
I don't believe in medication. And that's not that I don't believe people should take it. I don't personally myself feel like I just don't feel like I want to take it. I have this physical thing where I can't, like I couldn't physically take a tablet, and I just don't feel like I need to take an antidepressant because I have such a positive personality.
Yeah.
Or I have so much fight in me that I will not let it get the better of me. That's kind of my attitude. So I wouldn't, it's given in if I take it. Maybe that's wrong of me to even say that. But that's my personal feeling. So music is what has kept me sane.
Helped you with
and I'd literally go on Facebook and be like, I'm not feeling too good today now, lads, so I'm on here to sing a few songs for you. And by the end of it, the praise, the encouragement, just people like writing from the far side of the world, and it was just a big connection.
That's amazing.
It was very healing, I think.
I can imagine so. Like, I know that with different things, like I would read a good bit about, like, you know, mental health, and then how, well, obviously I kind of know how it makes me feel creatively, but then I also understand that we're in a business where you are so kind of, what's it called, like constantly comparing yourself to other people. So there's a lot of things that, you know, people, they're kind of like, don't go on social media, like try not to, like, compare yourself. But we're in this world where we have to kind of see what other people are doing. We're obviously judging ourselves a lot with what we do, with what we put out there, how we're looking, all that kind of thing. So, you know, I did find like there are a few books that I can even, like, you know, I actually brought them with me just in case, but there's one called Owning It by Caroline Foran, who actually was in, like, I think a few years ahead of me in school, and she's doing really well, like really good, like Irish bookseller. Very good. And she wrote this thing all about like mental health, and one of the things was, because people were always like, you know, you need to exercise for your mental health, blah blah blah, and I read her book, and one of the things was like, know which exercise is actually good for you, because obviously when we were trapped at home, people were like, go for runs and all this kind of stuff. And I found that when I would go for runs, attempt to go for runs, let's be honest here, that my heart would end up kind of like beating, like kind of going a bit weird. And I was like, oh, is this a panic attack coming along? Or is this just me going for a run? And I think she had said, like, you know, I think she's, now I could be wrong because it has been a while since I read it, that she was saying like cardio sometimes doesn't work for people because of their anxiety. Yeah, I think I went for like a kind of a bit of a hike a while ago, and whatever, going up the hill and stuff. Like I go to the gym, but doing cardio, my heart was going, and then I end up, my body thinks this is a panic attack coming along. Now it's not the same for everybody, but I found I found from reading that I was like, oh,
so you found an exercise to suit yourself.
Yeah. So like I do the odd bit of cardio, but I wouldn't put pressure on myself to be doing all these runs that everybody was doing during lockdown, because I was like, for me, it really
it's going to trigger
me, yeah. Of course. And I know that what you're saying with like, I'd be quite open with talking about like, mental health and anxiety, because I don't feel like anybody really was when I was younger, and I didn't tell anybody for ages. Didn't tell any of my friends I was going to therapy for so very long, like, and like it was only, I think it was during a bit in lockdown where I actually turned to did I say it to my mom? I think I must have said it to my mom first, that I was like, I'm really trying everything. So I was doing like meditation, I was already going to therapy, I was like eating well, knew this thing about exercise, and I was you know, still singing, trying to do a bit of writing and stuff. I was like, things are just not, like you said earlier, when you're in that when you have a few minutes to yourself.
And you think about things, you panic.
Yeah, that you go, I shouldn't be having to fight so hard to feel a certain way. So went to my doctor, told them how I felt, and they put me on antidepressants, and I've been on them now for a while. And I feel like, because they were like, it's not, you try so many different things, but then it actually you can't, sometimes you actually can't do anything, and it's literally an imbalance in your body that you have no control over.
I know.
And like a friend of mine, like, you know, told my friend, and they were like, oh, like, you know, well done for being open. But I was like, people just need to be, not people obviously, you know, hold their cards close to their chest, and I fully respect that. But I feel like for me, being like a woman in the music industry, I'm not going to come up here and be like, everything is rainbows and sugar plum smiles. Do you know what I mean?
Love this
like
girl.
It's not going to be like, this is, oh, like just write a song and then like there you go. It's like there's a lot of like you know, going through the muck, but knowing that other people are doing it as well. You know, like I wouldn't change my experience of things for the world, because now I understand how I work. Yes, I have some days where I'm like, oh, can I just stay in my pajamas and eat Rice Krispies for all of my meals? But then also going, you know, like there are other days where I'm like, okay, I know how I feel, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's just, being open about it. I think hopefully this will help.
I think you're after
different
healing
people.
me a little bit. I think you changed my whole view on medication now. I think I'm going to get myself some medication. No, not
no,
really.
but see, when you said that, I was like,
no, I do like that, because
everyone's
think
different. Everybody's different, and you don't. And
but
you
I
don't
think I'm
it.
actually afraid of medication, because my father was an undiagnosed schizophrenic. There's like, I could go on forever here. We'll talk about this some other time. But like, basically, he struggled really bad with his mental health, and because it was like a shameful thing in our community, you're kind of like, you're the madman if you struggle. He kept it quiet, and and then my mother struggled, I suppose, and they didn't, I don't know, the answer to everything in the end then was, after it all, was medication. And I was like, no, but that doesn't solve everything else that happened and whatever. And I suppose then, as a traveller woman, years ago, apparently, like, there was this thing anyway when we were children, if you were bold, the man is going to come, the cruelty man is going to come to get you, right?
Always about the man, yeah.
And this man was somebody who actually did come to traveller families and take their children. Now, I don't know, for reasons, probably bad, good, I don't know, but every child was terrified of the cruelty man. So, as a woman, an Irish traveller woman, I grew up thinking, well, if I admit that I have depression and if I take that medication, are they going to say that I'm not a good enough mother and come and take my children like they did 100 years ago to the traveller women? And also, in my community, the women have a role and the men have a role. Now, I could get killed for saying this, but more in generally, we have a role. So the men do the outdoor stuff, the working and blah, blah, blah. And the women take care of the children and clean their home and do all whatever is involved with like home life. And when I was kind of struggling after I had the baby, he was only a few months old when lockdown happened. He was only 6 months old. And I had this, like, I think it might have been postnatal depression. And I wouldn't talk about it because I was like, oh my God, I'm the shittest mother ever. And I'm not really being a perfect traveller woman. You know, like, I should be on top of things. What about these other traveller women that have 10 children and they always look so perfect and everything's so perfect in their life, and here I am, I can't even cope with 3, and I've all this time, and then like the music I didn't really feel like writing, and everything was just blah blah blah. So I suppose the main thing that holds me back would have held me, thank God now I'm over it all and I feel better of it. But I struggled so bad with panic attacks when I probably should have went to the doctors for medication. But really, it's still just a fear in me. I think this is the first time I've ever actually openly admitted this, but it's actually a fear of like, what would people think of me if I take that tablet?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, no, like, obviously we all have like different friendship groups, different families and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that when I actually told a few people about it, they were like, oh, like, I'm like, it turned the amount of people that just don't openly talk about it because they're worried that they're going to get judged as well. So the second I told somebody, they were like, oh my God, like I've taken it for blah, 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 like X.
I would have had a lot of support, but I probably would have also had a lot of,
yeah,
I thought she had life really together.
I know, but see, some people have a certain idea. Like you said earlier, people have there's a stigma around it. So,
and she's all over the place singing. Why would she? Oh God!
People are like, you don't need that stuff, and you're like, but
actually, no.
Yeah,
I'm a human, and I actually struggle as well, and that's.
I know, and it's like if you're doing everything that you are told you should do, and if you're still not feeling right, well, then the best thing is to go to your doctor. And
but I love this conversation. You made me feel very.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Like, I feel now after hearing you saying that, probably with the help of God, I never will. But I'd imagine if I ever felt that way again, you kind of changed my mind a little bit.
Okay, well, that's talking about overwhelming.
No, really, that's good. And I think you'd actually, I hope all little traveller girls even watching this in my community will like,
that's huge.
You know.
Yeah.
Look up to you for this. They will. It's nice open conversation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.